Good evening, afternoon or morning. Movie Cat is at the microphone, and today I will tell an unusual love story of an old killer and a teenage girl. For your attention, the crime drama of 1994. Léon, the professional.
Who should I hit?
Whoever.
And in order not to lose this channel, I recommend to subscribe. New York, Little Italy District. Mafiosi Tony talks to his regular killer Léon in his cozy cafe. Tony says Fat Jones is getting in the way of his business and doesn't want to go to negotiations. He's in town every Thursday. Léon finishes his milk, takes a photo and leaves. On Thursday, Fat Jones arrives at the hotel surrounded by half a dozen bodyguards. He is going to spend time with the girl, so he leaves the guard outside by the door. 5 minutes later, the unknown kills all the guards and appears behind the frightened Jones. The unknown gives the fat man an order from his boss to leave the city today and never to appear here again. After completing the work, Léon buys 2 bags of milk at the store and returns home. On the stairs, he meets a teenage girl who is smoking. Léon asks why her face is bruised. The girl answers that she fell off her bicycle and also asks Léon not to tell her father that she was smoking. Léon goes to his apartment, and at the end of the corridor, the girl's father tries to explain to the drug dealers that he stored their powder correctly and did not dilute it. A man named Stan approaches him and says that they will come here tomorrow at noon exactly to ask again. The girl's father is frightened. He approaches his daughter, hits her in the face and shouts for her to go do her homework. Léon is watching all this through the peephole. He takes off his coat, then countless weapons, waters the fern and sits down to sleep in the chair. The next morning, a girl named Matilda wakes up at home. Everyone around doesn't care about her presence. The father is busy seducing his wife in the bathroom. Also, he casually admits to her that, apparently, he shouldn't have diluted the drugs. Matilda's stepsister constantly yells at her, and only the little brother loves Matilda. Later, Léon returns from a walk and sees a girl with a broken nose on the stairs. Matilda asks if life is always this crap or only in childhood. Léon replies that always. Matilda does not want to go home. She says that she is going to the store and offers to buy Léon 2 packs of milk, as he usually does. At noon, bandits, led by Stan, arrive. He loves classical music and promises his accomplices to play Beethoven now. Stan bursts into the apartment with a shotgun. He kills a woman in the bathtub, shoots a girl who was practicing gymnastics, and then orders his terrified subordinates to search the apartment. Suddenly, the father of the family takes out a gun and kills one of the thugs, but the other one opens fire with a machine gun through the wall and hits a frightened little boy who was trying to run away. Stan kills the father and orders his accomplices to find drugs. Meanwhile, Matilda returns from the store. She walks upstairs and sees her father's corpse in a pool of blood, as well as armed men around. Matilda passes by forcefully, tears streaming down her cheeks. She goes to Léon's door and asks to be let in. On the other side of the door, Léon hesitates a little, but still lets the girl in. The thugs find the drugs and Stan tells the accomplices it's time to go, but he orders one of his men to wait for the police and tell cops they were doing their job here. Meanwhile, Léon is in the kitchen trying to say he feels sorry for Matilda's family, but she replies that she hated all her relatives except her little brother. Matilda does not understand why he died, because he was only 4 years old. Matilda notices a gun in the suitcase and asks what Léon does for a living. Léon admits that he is a cleaner, that is, a hired killer, but he does not kill everyone. He has a strict rule not to touch women and children. Matilda asks to teach her how to be a cleaner so that she can avenge her brother, but Léon refuses and sends the girl to sleep to decide what to do next tomorrow. Matilda goes to bed and Léon, as usual, sits down to sleep in an armchair. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, he gets up, takes a gun, winds the silencer and points the weapon at the girl. Killing is the easiest way. Léon is used to solving problems, but at the last moment he remains faithful to his rule not to touch women and children, even if he really wants to. In the morning, Léon says that Matilda has to leave after breakfast. The girl replies that she has nowhere to go, and if Léon saved her life yesterday, now he is responsible for her. Matilda feels that if Léon kicks her out, she will die today. The girl asks to be taught to be a killer, and when Léon says that she will not succeed, Matilda takes a gun from the table and shoots several times from the window. They quickly leave the apartment. Léon takes Matilda with him but warns that if she does this again, he will break her head. After all, shooting at passers-by from the window is not professional. Léon doesn't work like that. At the hotel, the receptionist asks to fill out the forms, and Matilda suddenly realizes that Léon cannot read and write. Then she says that she likes to fill out such forms, takes both pieces of paper and writes other people's names there. Later, Léon asks his patron and regular customer, an Italian mobster, Tony, to get him a sniper rifle. Léon explains to Matilda that the rifle is a beginner's weapon, because it allows to be away from the client. The more professional a killer, the closer he is to the client. For example, a knife is the last thing Matilda will learn. Léon says that when working with a rifle, it is necessary to dress no brighter than the floor, and to open the cover of the scope at the last moment, so that the glare does not give away the position. Léon also clarifies that in order to hit the target, she needs to blend in with the client and feel where he will be in the next moment, and then Léon allows Matilda to shoot at anyone. She chooses some important person on a run, surrounded by security, presses the hook, and a ball with red paint falls into the client's stomach. Day after day, Léon teaches Matilda how to handle weapons, how to maintain good physical shape, and that she should always drink milk. Matilda teaches Léon to read and write, also that in addition to work, they also need to rest and have fun. Later, Léon comes to Tony and says that the money he has earned over the years, which Tony keeps with him, he may soon need. Tony immediately wonders if Léon just happened to meet a woman. Tony reminds that when Léon came to him still very young, he already had big problems because of a woman. However, Tony adds that Léon's money is Léon's money and he's just keeping it safe, like at a bank, but better, because at a bank you have to read the contract and fill out too many papers. Léon says now he can read and write. In the hotel room, Matilda suddenly confesses to Léon that she is falling in love with him. Léon accidentally spills his milk and then says he's late for work. Behind the door, he realizes that he has been overcome by feelings that he did not suspect. Without Léon, Matilda gets bored and goes for a walk. Matilda tells the bellhop in the hotel that the adult man with whom she lives is not her father at all. He is her lover. Leaving the bellhop confused, Matilda goes to the apartment where she once lived and where all her relatives were killed. Once inside, she finds her little brother's favorite toy, and then Matilda sees a small silhouette on the floor, outlined in chalk. Matilda pulls herself together, opens the hiding place, and takes a large sum of money. Suddenly, she has to quickly hide because two detectives enter the apartment and interrogate some man. The detectives want to know who killed the children in this apartment, but the man says he doesn't know and doesn't care. The man yells that if they want to ask questions, they can come to his office, and then the man leaves. Matilda realizes that this is the very man she saw that day in this same apartment with a weapon in his hands. She hails a taxi on the street, pays the driver $100 and asks to track the car in which the man got into. Matilda sees a man walk into the Department of Justice, a drug enforcement agency. Matilda sits at the hotel room in deep despair. After some time, Léon returns from work. Blood is flowing from under his sleeve. He says he bought Matilda a present and takes out of the bag an old-fashioned dress with a rose. Suddenly, a bellhop with two assistants arrives and persistently asks the guest to leave the hotel. After moving to the apartment, the injured Léon goes to the shower and sews up the gunshot wound in the shoulder. When he gets out of the shower, Matilda pours him milk and puts $20,000 on the table. She wants Léon to kill a man named Norman Stansfield, 26 Federal Plaza, Drug Enforcement Agency. Léon refuses because firstly, it is too difficult, secondly, a killer gets only insomnia after any revenge murder, and thirdly, he is tired of all these games. Then Matilda says that in life, only love or death is important to her, and she offers one last game. She loads 3 cartridges into the revolver's drum and offers a bet. If she wins, Léon will keep her forever, and if she loses, he will have to go for milk alone. Matilda is in a serious mood and slowly presses the hook when suddenly, at the last moment, Léon pulls her hand away from her head and the gun shoots at the lamp. Matilda says she won. Léon gives up. He takes Matilda to Tony and tells his patron that while he is injured, he needs an assistant. Léon teaches Matilda how to break down doors, how to search the ambushes in the apartments, and that she should never shoot a client in the head, because if the customer doesn't recognize the dead client, then he won't pay. Léon is satisfied with how the training is going, and as a reward he takes Matilda to a restaurant. However, when she drinks a lot of champagne and offers to kiss, Léon refuses. Someday, one of the clients, instead of asking who's there, suddenly instantly starts shooting right through the door, and Léon barely manages to take Matilda out of the line of fire. 2 seconds later, Léon tells Matilda that he's going to show the ring trick. He pulls the ring from the grenade and throws it into the apartment. Later, Léon comes to Tony and asks to give all the money to Matilda if something happens to him. Tony replies that he can be counted on. After that, Léon tells Matilda that he is going to work, but this time without her, because the work is very difficult. Matilda doesn't want to just wait for Léon at home, and that's why she comes to the building of the Department of Justice. When she sees Stansfield, Matilda follows him. At the entrance, she says she's delivering food to the Drug Enforcement Agency. Matilda follows Stansfield to the men's room, but suddenly he is behind her and asks what kind of cuisine she brought. Chinese, Thai, or maybe Italian, and what is the name of the chef who sent all of it. Matilda admits that she works alone, because Stansfield killed her brother. Stansfield hopes that Matilda loves her life, because he does not take any pleasure in taking it from people who do not value their lives. Suddenly, Stansfield's partner enters the toilet and says that someone killed their colleague, who went to sell their good to the Chinese today. The killer is a professional, looks Italian. He entered and quickly shot their colleague and several Chinese people who were in his way. Stansfield tells his colleague to take the girl to the office, and he goes himself away. Meanwhile, Léon returns to the apartment and finds a note from Matilda saying that she has gone to the Drug Enforcement Agency to kill Norman Stansfield. Léon quickly heads to the Justice Building, easily passes 2 security guards, finds an office of the Drug Enforcement Agency, and instantly kills 2 policemen there. Léon is very happy that Matilda is alive and he takes her home. In the evening, Matilda wears a dress with a rose that Léon gifted her and says that the first time is very important for every girl. Léon admits that he can't do it. He already had a girl he once loved a long time ago in Italy. Her father was against this relationship because the girl was from a very respectable family and Léon was from a not very respectable family, and one day her father got so angry that he shot his daughter. The next day, Léon killed him, got on a ship and sailed to New York. He was 19 then, and from that day he never left the city and was never with another girl again. Léon adds, so he's unlikely a good lover. Then Matilda asks for a favor. Léon will no longer sleep in a chair, but instead, like all people, will learn to sleep in a bed. At the same moment, an angry Stansfield comes to Tony in the cafe and says that he respects Tony, but yesterday some Italian killer murdered 3 of his men. Stansfield adds that he is dying to meet this killer. In the morning, Matilda goes to the store to get milk, when suddenly, on the way back, she is captured by special forces in the corridor. The fighters find out which apartment Léon is in and quietly enter one by one. Suddenly the door closes, shots are fired and the door opens. Léon hangs from the ledge above the door and kills a few more fighters. When one of the fighters tries to peek around the corner, a gun is pressed against his forehead. Léon demands that the girl be released. Then, covered by the policeman, he asks the girl to remove the X from the wall. Together they move to the apartment at the end of the corridor. The Special Forces leader asks for shields and heavy weapons over the radio. While all this is being carried from downstairs, Léon manages to cut a hole in the wall for Matilda to go down the water pipe's shaft, but she does not want to leave Léon and leaves only when Léon promises that it is easier for him to get out without her. Léon says that he loves the girl because she taught him to enjoy life and therefore he is not going to die so easily. He gives Matilda an appointment at Tony's in an hour. The police blow up the door and enter. On the floor they see one of their own, wounded but alive. He is carried downstairs and handed over to the doctor, who asks him to remove his mask. Léon takes off his mask, but due to the fact that all the city's police have already gathered here, an unfamiliar person in the Special Forces does not surprise anyone. However, Stansfield is standing at the end of the corridor. He recognizes Léon and leaves. After a while, Léon also leaves to get out the house through the front door. Meanwhile, Matilda gets out of the shaft and heads to Tony. Léon is walking down the corridor when suddenly Stansfield appears behind him and shoots. A dying Léon hands Stansfield a ring and says it's from Matilda. A second later, the bundle of grenades on his chest explodes. Stansfield killed someone who valued and loved life for the last time, and Léon performed the ring trick for the last time. In his cafe, Tony tells Matilda that it's a pity that Léon died. Léon's money is her money now, but Tony offers to keep it for Matilda until she's older, and before that, she needs to finish school. Matilda agrees and returns to school. There in the garden, she plants a fern from a pot in the ground, because if you love someone, you have to let him go. Thank you for watching. Today I suggest you fantasize how Léon and Matilda would have lived if he had survived. Write in the comments. Also, thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already.